This is CBC Here and Now.
Well, let's get to our top story. A surge in highway fatalities, a drop in tickets being issued, and a police deployment to Labrador to bolster security surrounding Muskrat Falls.
But is there a connection? That's one of the questions being asked in the wake of CBC's coverage this week. Here's Opposition Leader Paul Davis.
I can't accept there's absolutely no correlation.
But when asked in September, the Justice Minister was just as adamant there was not a correlation.
No linkage whatsoever between Muskrat Falls deployment and people being on the ground. In fact, to make up the force that went to Muskrat Falls, we deployed officers from all over this country, from RCMP all over, in fact, members of the RNC. So that is not linked whatsoever.
And Andrew Parsons joins us now from his district. Well, Minister Parsons, you were pretty definitive in September there was no linkage. Do you still stand by your comments?
Well, unfortunately, the information that I've received since that time confirms that there was, in fact, a smaller presence on our roadways this past August, although it was certainly not all linked to the Labrador deployment. There's a number of factors that were at play. But the information that I received back in September prior to speaking is different than the information that I have now.
And what is the information that you are getting?
We have to look at the Labrador deployment, which is something that was requested by the RCMP. My understanding, obviously, is that it wouldn't have any effect on regular operations. And I take my guidance for operations from the RCMP. I don't, as a Justice Minister, direct the RCMP on how to do their job. Since that time, we've learned that due to, just a number of reasons, including members on leave, other shortages that they were dealing with, and particular vacancies, the fact is that there were more people, some people from the Traffic Services Division that were in Labrador. But to say that it was completely due to Labrador is not accurate one bit, and to say that that deployment led to unfortunate tragedies that we saw on our roadway, to say that that's a huge correlation here, I just don't think is. I think is misleading, actually.
We're told 160 RCMP and RNC officers were deployed to Labrador late summer. That is including RCMP from away. But how many officers from this province were sent to Labrador, and how many were backfilled?
Well, I think the numbers I have is certainly lower to 160. The last number I had was in the 120 range, and maybe half or less, a little bit less than that, would have been from here within the province, throughout the entire province, and in fact, there's some other forces. I mean, we had to look at, and again, there were some RNC that were a part of this, but not being told any other way that the RNC was facing the same issue. In fact, we saw the RNC have a drop in tickets given out during August, when we don't have the same issue when it comes to people in positions. I think we have it was a very terrible month for a number of factors, and the fact is that we had, due to these operational issues, we had fewer people on the road. It's just one terrible factor in a number of them.
But specifically on this deployment to Labrador, how many officers from this province were sent up there, and how many were backfilled?
Well, again, I would have to say that we have to go to the RCMP on that. I mean, people need to realize that no politician directs the RCMP or any police force on how to do their job. When this project was first brought about, when we understood, again, it's brought to me. And the reason it's brought to me is just because I had to sign off on the extra resources. This project in Labrador was going to have a significant cost, and under our policing agreement, I would have to sign a letter saying, yes, I understand you need to go outside the agreement and have extra money spent. That's what I agreed to. Certainly wouldn't agree to anything that saw less enforcement on our roads. And I certainly, I put myself in a situation, well, if the RCMP say they need something and you say no, you're put then in a position of you're telling these people with this expertise and this intelligence that they're not right. That's not any politician's job. So again, when it comes to the specific numbers, I don't have that in front of me. I think the RCMP should be and would be willing to provide, and we need to have that out there.
Well, on that point, the RCMP have not been forthcoming with numbers that we have been asking for. Are you now, given what has been reported, are you looking for that information yourself from the RCMP?
When it comes to the cost and how many officers, I don't see any reason why that could not be put out there. But I think the bigger message we had to get out here, while there is no doubt we had fewer individuals on the road, police officers on the road this August, I don't think that there isn't a direct correlation here to say that that has caused a loss of life. I think to do that, to put that as the main reason, is irresponsible.
Minister Andrew Parsons, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
In other news, from mystery van to major misunderstanding.
The ferries are ready, but the dock isn't. Fortune's still $500,000 away from being St. Pierre friendly.
He says, why don't we go over to the gas station across the road and look at it? I said, no, I want to eat supper.
Party in Placentia. One sister owes her brother a big thank you.
Well, the first white-knuckle drive of the season for many in the metro area this morning, but the good news, you'll need the sunglasses tomorrow morning. The details are coming up.
While concerned parents in Conception Bay South can rest easy tonight, a driver accused of trying to lure an 8-year-old boy into a van has come forward to say he isn't a would-be predator. A father in Chamberlain says his son was approached by a blue van on Monday. One of the 3 men inside the van tapped on the window and motioned for the boy to come forward. The family called police and later shared their concern about a possible predator on Facebook. Nearby Topsail Elementary also sent out a warning, but last night the man in question visited the family to explain it was all just a misunderstanding.
The gentleman was from the area and he was reminiscing. Him and 2 people in the van, he went up to my house because I guess my son reminded him of his grandson. So he was trying to motion him to come here and talk with him. However, he didn't open the windows. And he understands now that what he did could be, misunderstood to a child. And, he feels really bad.
This was the scene on the Outer Ring Road in St. John's early this afternoon between Thorburn Road and Paradise. No doubt the winter conditions played a role in this Honda Civic going off the road. A witness on the scene says the driver was quite banged up, but luckily an off-duty firefighter was passing by and offered assistance.
A 70-year-old man who faked his own death has been sentenced to 3 months house arrest. James Drummond was charged with fraud and forgery in connection with nearly $2 million in bogus real estate deals. Here Now's Fred Hutton has that story.
James Drummond used a cane to walk into court this morning. In his other hand, he carried a small bag of personal items. There was a possibility he'd be going to jail, but a judge ruled otherwise. Drummond kept his head down and his eyes closed as he listened to Justice Don Burridge sentence him to 3 months house arrest. He's no stranger to the legal system. In a previous case, Drummond was described by a British Columbia Supreme Court judge as a con man. During a sentencing hearing last week, the court was told that a man who identified himself as Tim Scott tried to purchase 2 properties in Conception Bay South back in 2014, a house worth $650,000 and nearby land for about $1.3 million. At the time, Scott told a real estate agent he had a terminal form of pancreatic cancer and just months to live. After 3 months and numerous phone calls and emails, the money still hadn't arrived, and the story took a bizarre twist. The agent was contacted by a man who said he was Scott's business partner. He said Scott had died, but that the deals would go ahead. Not long after, the agent saw Scott at the Dr. H. Bliss Murphy Cancer Center, and that's when the police were contacted. Today, the judge noted that Drummond did not profit, and the victims did not suffer any financial loss. Burridge also took into consideration Drummond's age and failing health. 2 charges of fraud in relation to the fake purchase agreements were dropped when Drummond pleaded guilty to forgery. He's also been ordered to pay a $400 victim surcharge and serve 1-year probation after the house arrest. When asked by CBC about the outcome of today's ruling, Drummond said he was pleased. For Here and Now, Fred Hutton, CBC News, St. John's.
What happens when a worker dies on the job and an employer is convicted of violating health and safety rules? CBC Investigates dug into details on hundreds of those incidents across the country to see how the penalties vary from province to province and to ask if anything should change. Here's our Rob Antle with the story.
Memories are all that remain now for Alex Tuff. Memories of good times. Memories of what he lost 4 years ago.
Chris, he was my big brother and I looked up to him. But he was the kind of guy, He really liked the outdoors, liked motorbikes, fabricating stuff out in the garage, taking apart stuff, trying to put it back together.
Christopher Tuff was killed in an explosion at his workplace here in Happy Valley Goose Bay in 2013. Earlier this year, 2 companies and 2 individuals were convicted under the Occupational Health and Safety Act in relation to his death and fined a total of $108,000.
I feel personally it was enough just because it does, like I said, compare to other cases. But at the end of the day, no amount of money will bring him back.
That case was one of 11 fatal workplace accidents in the province, resulting in convictions under provincial occupational health and safety rules over the past half-dozen years. All 11 have one thing in common: no jail time for the employers involved. The penalties instead were financial. The median fine in those recent fatal cases, $70,000, higher than the rest of Atlantic Canada, but lower than the rest of the country.
$70,000 sounds pretty low, given that we're dealing with fatality.
Barbara Neese is a Memorial University professor who's been doing health and safety research for decades. She's not surprised by those numbers in this province.
Relatively low fines are sort of understood to be fairly common across, given these kinds of infractions, once you're dealing with a workplace-related problem.
There's a national debate over whether those fines are enough.
I don't want to see a bunch of bosses in jail. In fact, if we saw 1 or 2, I think that would be the paradigm shift that we see in Canada that would really bring home the fact that bosses have a responsibility for their workers.
Most employers get it. They understand that safety is good for their business or for their operation.
Employers groups believe it's better to focus on finding the causes of accidents and eliminating them in the future.
What we would like is an emphasis on education as opposed to an emphasis on prosecution.
It's a national debate, but a provincial responsibility. Newfoundland and Labrador's Minister in charge of Occupational Health and Safety declined our request for an interview about the current regulations and whether they are working. But in an email statement, her department said the province is committed to maintaining a strong occupational health and safety culture in all workplaces and welcomes input from anyone who has suggestions on how to improve the legislation.
We got to get away from the whole, you pay the fine and it's over with.
Alex Tuff wants companies to focus on things they can do to make the workplace safer.
My message is, like I said, get the training, understand what you guys have to do as a company, and everything should fall into place after that.
Rob Antle, CBC News, St. John's.
There's a lot more information available on this story. Check out our national website, cbc.ca, for a more in-depth look at how people are impacted right across the country.
Muskrat Falls critics have had a lot to say since Stan Marshall took over as CEO of Nalcor, but last night, the group calling itself the Labrador Land Protectors had a chance to say it to Marshall's face. About 30 people took place in a sharing circle at the Friendship Centre in Happy Valley Goose Bay. Here now's Jacob Barker has that story.
The traditional sharing circle Stan Marshall took part in yesterday was not open to the media. It was broadcast live on Facebook. What took place over 2 hours was a respectful conversation, each speaking in turn, voicing their concerns.
I think the onus is on you to order an independent study on the North Spur.
Marshall, too, took the talking stick. There was no debate, just statements.
I have no reason to have put any of you at risk. And if I thought I was, I would walk away from this job today.
After the circle, feelings were mixed on how things went. Some see it as a road forward.
This is historic for us, and we know that. And so we're sort of sending a message to any person from away who wants to come in and develop Labrador. Meeting with, Indigenous leaders or elected leaders is not, the end of it all, that you're going to have to contend with people on the ground whose real lives are impacted.
Others felt it was just more of the same.
It was very condescending. There's no discussion. He knows what he was going to say long before we ever spoke with him. He had his mind made up already.
It was Marshall's first time hearing concerns in a sharing circle. After the meeting, he remained steadfast in his messaging.
There's always people going to be concerned because they don't understand the issues. But all I can do is give them assurances that, you know, proper studies have been done, proper designs have been developed, and the work has been done, implemented properly.
Even if the meeting did not end with two sides seeing eye to eye, it was the opportunity to have their concerns heard, and the Labrador land protectors hope others are listening.
Now it's the government's turn. You know, they have this perfect opportunity with an inquiry. You know, do it right, do it thoroughly.
The concerns raised are not part of the province's inquiry into the Muskrat Falls project, and whether or not they will be is up to the justice who's heading it up. Jacob Barker, CBC News, Happy Valley Goose Bay.
Okay, let's turn our attention to the weather.
Yeah, and certainly, as we saw there in that with Jacob, Labrador's had snow for quite a while. People are already out on snowmobiles enjoying it. St. John's, this was our first real taste of it, I guess.
Yeah, that's right, and a taste it was. Again, the West Coast has had a little bit. Central, not even as much as we've had now here in St. John's. St. John's Airport has recorded more snow in the month of November than Gander has, which is rare. But yeah, for some of us this morning, it was that first white knuckle drive. This from Trishana this morning. This was the Doe Hills area. And again, that TCH did get a little on the dicey side, more as we work towards the 9, 10 a.m. time period, which is good because most of us were off the roads by then. You can see where that front has moved offshore. Area of high pressure moving in. We've got this trough, basically a frontal boundary that's moving in from the west. Already increasing the cloud cover in Labrador City. We're going to be seeing some snow through the overnight hours there tonight, couple of centimeters by tomorrow morning. Across the island, you'll note temperatures really bottom out, minus double digits for the inland areas of Central, and then rising as we work towards tomorrow morning, Port aux Basques, even towards the Corner Brook region. And as we work into the afternoon, temps on the plus side, some sun in the mix. Flurries moving into Labrador. There's been changes to your weekend forecast, including the all-important Sunday Santa Claus Parade forecast. I'll have that for you coming up in a few minutes. Debbie?
Thanks, Ryan. Well, once again, another lottery winner in this province. This time, it's a couple from Placentia. Wanda and Craig Brooks received a check this morning for $675,000. Wanda says her brother, well-known RNC spokesman Constable Jeff Higdon, gave her the Set for Life ticket and a birthday card. She says she was at a birthday supper when she scratched the 3 winning symbols.
And I scratched it, and I scratched game 4, and it said, it had 3 punch glasses, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then it said for life in the corner. And I said, there's 3 punch glasses, 3 identical prizes sometimes. And then I looked at my friend and I said, I showed her and she was like, that looks the real one, Lee. Like, I was like, no, it can't be, no.
What a birthday gift. Wanda says she's still dumbfounded by the news and she plans to share some with her brother. Pretty sweet story.
Yeah, not a bad birthday present.
Well, as you can see, Anthony is not here tonight. Peter Cowan is...
Yep, you're stuck with me.
Yeah, that could be worse.
Well, that's pretty good praise.
Anyway, Anthony is hosting a special event at the Delta Hotel in St. John's. It's the annual Festival of Trees and Holiday Gifts.
Yeah, and it looks like Anthony has managed to snag himself the wine tray there. Anthony, I'm not sure that's what you're supposed to be doing at this event, is it?
No, you've eyed my target for later tonight, Mr. Cowan. Thanks for being there in my stead. Yeah, the ballroom here at the Delta is filling up, all for a good cause, glitz and glamour, but at the end of the night, it really is to raise money for cancer patients in this province. Let's go inside. I'll take you inside the ballroom, give you a sense of what's going on here tonight. You'll see a whole bunch of trees in the background, of course, people dressed to the best they can, and along these tables, all kinds of various items, jewelry, Newfoundland products, places you can stay, and those are the items that people are going to be bidding on. So although it is a night of champagne and a bit of glamour, it's all for a good cause, and that's helping cancer patients from our province. Recently, we told you about a sad story for the CBC and for the province, really. John Calver, a great journalist, passed away. Towards the end, John had his wife with him, his daughter, his in-laws, his family. He had everything really that he needed, and that's not the case for everybody in this province. So a lot of the fundraising tonight will go to Daffodil Place, which makes sure that Newfoundlanders, when they have to come to St. John's for cancer treatments, they can get some support for themselves and for their families. And that's what tonight is all about. I'll have more about that later.
Thanks very much, Anthony. And as he says, we will check in just a bit later.
Well, Fortune Bay has new ferries, but passengers can't yet sail to and from Saint-Pierre on the new boats. What's the holdup? Well, that story is just ahead. Welcome back to Here and Now. The new ferries for Saint-Pierre and Miquelon have arrived, but work hasn't even started to get the wharf in Fortune ready for the new vessels.
À l'époque par grand banc, donc il faut savoir qu'il y avait en fait deux ports qui s'intéressaient au projet.
Well, that's an official on Saint-Pierre. They're talking about using the port in Grand Bank instead because of the delays getting Fortune ready. Now, the Port of Fortune hasn't been able to come up with all of the $2.6 million it needs to do the upgrades. So what's the holdup? Well, I've reached Charles Penwell, and he's the mayor of Fortune. Give me an idea, how much money does the port in Fortune need in order to get ready for these new ferries?
I think, I'm not sure of the exact numbers, but I think it's around 2.6 million that they need. And COA's already committed $1 million of that, and the provincial government $500,000. And the Port Authority itself is committing another $500,000. So I think we're about $600,000 to $700,000 short of the projected need to get this wharf extension built.
And I guess that's a big issue when the ferries are here. They're wanting to get them into service early next year, but we haven't even seen construction start yet.
Yeah, that's a big problem for us, and I know it's a big problem for Saint-Pierre. Now, having said that, Saint-Pierre has made, in Saint-Pierre, they're making alternate arrangements for docking of the boat because they don't have their facilities properly done yet either. But having said that, we really need to accommodate these vessels appropriately as soon as they want to go in service, because it's an economic development opportunity for not only for Fortune but the Bureau Peninsula and all of the province.
Why do you think this new ferry service will be a boon for your area in particular?
Well, the plan of the territorial government in Superior is to run these ferries year-round, and they're taking vehicles and tractor-trailers as well as passengers, whereas the present one can just take passengers. So there'll be an increased freight traffic, increased vehicle traffic, increased passenger traffic, so it'll be greater opportunities for people from Superior to shop in Newfoundland, and it'll be greater opportunities for businesses and suppliers to supply things to Superior and Miquelon.
We're hearing from officials in Saint-Pierre that they've started talking to Grand Bank to see whether or not those facilities could be upgraded instead of Fortune. Are you worried that your town may lose out on this service?
Well, of course, we're always worried. Now, having said that, you know, I think that Grand Bank understands as well as everybody else is that, you know, Fortune is the official port, and it is the only international port really on the south coast of the province. To have the ferries come into Grand Bank, it would mean moving of customs services, so it would mean building a new building, it would mean, you know, a lot more for Grand Bank to do it. My guess would be, I'm no engineer, but my guess would be it would be at least double the infrastructure that we require in Fortune, and you know, we've got approval for all but about $600,000 to $700,000. So we just need the, you know, government departments, and the Port Authority has applied for the extra funding. So we just need government departments to sort of get at this and get it finished so we can get it done.
What about having Saint-Pierre pay for part of these upgrades? They're going to be the biggest beneficiary from having this new service. Has there been any talk about maybe them picking up the difference?
No, simply because Saint-Pierre has a lot to do on its own. They're the beneficiaries, but we're also beneficiaries too. And you know, it will benefit Newfoundland and Labrador economically very, very much. And Saint-Pierre has to upgrade their wharf facilities, and they have to spend millions of dollars. They also have to build completely new in Miquelon. They also have to add customs in Miquelon, which they don't have now. So, like, they're spending a dramatic amount of money. Plus, they're also doing major marketing throughout North America on Saint-Pierre as a destination, which is going to bring in extra tourists through Newfoundland and Labrador.
Well, I appreciate you telling me about the issue today.
Thank you, and we really appreciate your interest.
A St. John's cab driver says he's got a solution that would cut back on the number of people driving without a license or insurance. Assign license plates to people, not cars. That way, when you buy a vehicle, you'd have to provide your own plate. Here's Doug McCarthy explaining it to Here and Now's Mark Quinn.
License plates in this province right now remain with the car when the car is sold. So if I sell you my car today, I'm not required to find out whether you have a driver's license, whether you have are you going to register it, are you going to insure it. I just sell you the car and away you go. This is why you constantly hear on the news every week 2 and 3 drivers, 4 drivers picked up by the RNC, no license, no registration, no insurance. We've asked the province since May of last year, or this year, excuse me, to bring in the appropriate rules and regulations that require me, the seller of the vehicle, to remove the plate from the car when it's sold and return it to motor vehicle.
And how do you think that would prevent this problem?
Well, it's not going to eliminate the problem. I mean, if you want to put a plate on a car, you will find a way to get a plate. But what it does do is that it requires the seller to remove the plate, and before you can remove the vehicle from the premises, you have to have a valid permit plate issued by the province. And the only way you're going to get a plate is if you prove to the province that you, 1, you are licensed to drive, and 2, that you have the appropriate insurance in place for that vehicle so that you can put a plate on it.
And what do you think this is doing to insurance rates?
Well, this is one of the mitigating factors that's driving up our air rates. We have another 18.6% rate increase coming the 1st of March. This is going to affect not only our industry, but it also has effect now, I've learned, on the driving schools. Their rates are going up as well. It will affect the consumer. These higher rates are also going to be passed on to the consumer because the consumer's policies are going to be going up as well. If we can get these uninsured, unlicensed drivers off the road, it will make the roads safer for not only the taxi industry, but for everybody in this province. Consequently, that will have should lead towards a rate reduction in our premiums.
Whether it's a Chicago Blackhawks NHL jersey or perhaps a lovely local piece of art, some fantastic items up for auction here at the 22nd Festival Trees. After the break, this man, Matthew Piercy, will explain what's happening here to help cancer patients in our province.
Well, let's go back to downtown St. John's, where the annual Festival of Trees and Christmas Gifts is about to start.
And that's where Anthony is preparing to host the big event at the Delta Hotel. So Anthony, you have somebody with you who is involved with this event.
That's right, Debbie. I've got the person really at the heart of this from an organizational point of view, and that's Matthew Piercy. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Anthony.
So obviously lots of glitz, lots of glamour, but what's this evening really about, this Festival of Trees?
This is an amazing event, and 22 years now they've been doing this here, but it's really about helping those people who are diagnosed with cancer. And the main funding goes towards Daffodil Place, which is a 24-room facility here in St. John's, so people can travel into St. John's for their appointments. And then they don't have to worry about your food, your drive to and from appointments.
So you get a bit of peace of mind.
Absolutely, peace of mind, supportive care, all those sorts of things are provided, and just come in and focus on being well.
Now obviously there's all these wonderful items, there's games, people paid a lot of money for tonight to help out the place, Daffodil Place in particular. Daffodil Place welcomes a lot of people from across the island and Labrador to help them with their cancer treatments. What's a story from Daffodil Place that stands out in your mind?
Well, for me, there's so many stories. I mean, you meet so many people, and that's why I love my job, is because all the people I do meet. And one particular story is, I remember this middle-aged woman came in, and we have a supportive care room in the Daffodil Place where they can get wigs and turbans. And she went into this room, and she really had, her self-esteem was low. She really didn't know what the next steps were. After spending a half an hour in there with our guests and with our staff that helped them through this, she didn't even get a wig. But she came out and her head was so held high because we were working with the person, we're working with the support that they need emotionally and with the practical supports as well. And that's just one little tip of the things that we do up at Daffodil Place.
Right. Almost out of time right now, Matthew, but you mentioned to me that this to you is the start of Christmas, right? Obviously, CEO of the Newfoundland chapter of the Canadian Cancer Society, so this is the start of Christmas for you.
Absolutely. My wife and I would come here each year, and I love looking at the trees. I see so many people that help support us in so many ways. We're like family now, and it's really important to us because this is the money that we get so we can keep Daffodil Place running and keep our programs going.
All right, Matthew Piercy, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, here's a picture that, well, tell us about it, Ryan. Quite different.
Posted to my Facebook page, taken by June Nee at her cabin at 10 Mile Pond, Bonavista Bay. She said this bear was hanging out, having some fun yesterday morning, and they could not get him to leave. Looks like he was even making some snowballs.
Yeah, or scratching his back. That nice tree.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, and certainly he wasn't the only one making some snowballs today. I'm sure a lot of kids were out there enjoying a little bit of snow, but it hasn't stuck around in a lot of places.
Yeah, if you're in the lower elevations, the snow long and gone, and we'll show you a webcam shot in just a second. But want to quickly note that today, November 30th, do you remember what today is, Peter? You mentioned
it on your
Twitter.
Birthday?
No, not my birthday.
Somebody in my family's birthday.
Oh, that's right, yeah. You want to give him a shout out?
Hello.
Yeah. Today officially marks the end of hurricane season, and so it was a pretty active year. 17 named storms this season. 6 of those developed into major hurricanes. Notable here because not one of those 17 storms reached us. 3, of course, hammered the U.S. and the Caribbean, Harvey, Irma, and Maria. Plus, of course, places like Puerto Rico were devastated by the Category 5 hurricanes this year.
Boy, those pictures bring back a lot of turmoil, don't they?
Yeah, and still thousands, of course, without power in Puerto Rico, so bad situation there. So, yeah.
And making us all feel a little bit better about, oh no, we got a little bit of snow, you know.
Exactly. It is all relative. Now, as you mentioned, Peter, a lot of the snow has melted downtown St. John's, but have a look at this webcam shot, and you can see up near Windsor Lake, certainly the higher elevations around Metro, areas of Mount Pearl, Paradise, Airport Heights, and there's the shot just across from Windsor Lake. You can see the snow still on the ground there. -2 the temperature, and if you are heading out to walk the dog, not just the temperature, but note that wind sustained in that 35 to 40 kilometer per hour range along the northeast coast. So while temps are cool across the board, and especially into Labrador this evening, it is feeling even colder than that. Minus double digits is what it feels like in St. John's and Bonavista and back towards Gander. And even the Burin Peninsula, where those winds right now are at their strongest, sustained near 50 right now in Bonavista. So, yeah, the wind has a bite. Now, the good news, Winds easing as that front continues to move offshore. Area of high pressure moving in tonight. Calm and clear for most of us, though the clouds already building into Labrador City and the snow underway this evening and into the overnight. Could see upwards of 5 to as much as 10 centimeters by Friday afternoon in western parts of Labrador. For the rest of us, it's a pretty quiet forecast. We've got temperatures on the rise for Port aux Basques through the overnight hours, -7 to start in Corner Brook through Grand Falls, Windsor. Towards the Gander region, the Burin Peninsula, those onshore northerly winds are going to have temperatures in the -1 range to start the day in St. John's. Winds will become a little bit lighter into the afternoon, though still northeasterly. Again, quiet on the island, looking at those flurry chances marching eastward tomorrow into southeastern Labrador, increasing clouds along the west coast, and we'll bring in a chance of some drizzle through the late evening overnight hours for Metro, though tomorrow does look dry with the sun and cloud and temperatures near 2 degrees. Watch that building cloud cover over the west coast and into Labrador. Their forecast calls for that snow to move from the west into the east. And again, looking at just some flurries into the afternoon for you folks in Happy Valley Goose Bay. Now watch your timeline. Picking things up Saturday morning here. Clouds are going to dominate across the island. Winds generally light. Not ruling out again some of that drizzle early on Saturday morning for St. John's, the northeast coast. And we're going to also see those shower and flurry chances linger for much of the day from southeastern Labrador down the west coast, where a flurry chance in the morning, a shower chance into the afternoon as temperatures do rise into that 3-4 degree range. Mainly cloudy skies, Labrador City to Nain. And again, I think it's just cloud cover after that morning risk of some drizzle for St. John's. Now, rolling into the Saturday night, Sunday time period, winds are going to pick up a little bit. We've been talking about this system that's been brewing offshore, but the latest forecast models are showing the high dominating here. And so, although not looking at a lot of sunshine, enough to keep that precip offshore for the most part. Clouds are certainly going to dominate across the island. Best chance of flurries will be for the Northern Peninsula, Corner Brook, Grand Falls, Windsor, and Gander, though not ruling out a flurry chance for St. John's with temperatures near 2 on the plus side. And so your latest St. John's Santa Claus Parade forecast calls for dominant clouds, an isolated patchy period of drizzle, or a wet flurry as temperatures ride that 1 to 2 degree mark. Wind chills near -5, so we'll want to bundle up, but it is looking dry at this point. We'll, of course, keep you updated on this over the next 24 hours. Your long range is still to come, Debbie.
Thanks. A CBC town hall in Gambo generated some interesting conversation about resettlement. We'll take you there coming up. Well, people packed into the Smallwood Interpretation Center in Gambo last night for our CBC NL Town Hall. Rethinking Resettlement focused on the difficulties many tiny communities are facing. People had a lot to say and will share more in the days ahead. For now, here's a taste.
First off, you're right. People in town, not just town. So town is, Mount Pearl, St. John's,
Paradise.
Everybody who moved in from around the bay, who now consider themselves living in an urban place. They're all from rural places. But they, as far as they're concerned, they escaped it, so now they're better. I hear all the time, these little towns can't expect to have all the same services that we get here because there's not enough of them to have it, blah, blah. That's garbage. I work with rural communities all over the province, all over the country. Nobody in a rural community expects the exact same services that you get in St. John's. Everybody who lives in a rural place knows the deal they're making, and they're making it because they love where they live, and there's other benefits to where they live. They know that the hospital is 3 hours away instead of a 5-minute cab ride or ambulance ride. They know that the school is a 45-minute bus ride or an hour bus ride. They know all that stuff. They're not asking for anything. They're not demanding equal services that somebody in downtown St. John's would get. They're demanding appropriate services for people who live in this province. And one of the things that we don't do a very good job of, and nobody's mentioned it yet, although this gentleman started to get to it, we have public services that are designed for urban places. The way we do healthcare, the way we do education, the way we do municipalities, it's all designed around this idea that you've got a fairly large place that you're dealing with. So how can we expect that system to work in rural places, in rural and remote places? It isn't going to work. The cards are stacked against rural places from the get-go because the system's not designed for them.
Can you think of any examples there?
I can think of lots of examples. Well, around municipal government, in most parts of this country, rural places would have a much smaller municipal government that's part of a larger regional government. Here, if you want to be a municipality, if you want your town to have some sort of governance, it's got to be a municipality. We only have one option. That doesn't really work. We have 275 municipalities. You have more municipalities per capita than any other province in Canada. In places like Iceland, they don't build big hospitals all over the place. They have healthcare professionals who are all over their island. The school system, you mentioned distance education. We were leaders in distance education, world leaders. Dr. Max House, who's our lieutenant governor, was a pioneer in health telemedicine, and we're pioneers in teleeducation. Why aren't we using that now? Why are we relying on physical places to educate people, physical places to keep people healthy? First, we need to design better systems so that we can deliver better services cheaper, and that can be done. Places all over the world are doing it. Then we can start talking about whether we need to move people, because right now the question is unfair.
Let's meet our young athlete of the day. This is Savannah Avery of Labrador City. Savannah is 6 and loves to play hockey on her team, the Labrador West Lakers.
Yep, she loves scoring goals. Savannah also takes part in gymnastics and soccer.
Awesome job, Savannah. You're today's young athlete of the day. Yeah, okay. So much improved weekend forecast, especially for us in the east. Sunday's looking brighter, and the whole setup really, because that high is going to dominate, has kind of changed for early next week as well.
Good.
So a big change in the 7-day forecast. So let's get right to it. Lots to talk about. There's that area of high pressure, which is, again, going to be the central player. All week long, the forecast models have been trying to predict how high that high is going to get, how strong it's going to get, and whether it would be able to keep all that unsettled weather offshore. Well, the latest thinking is it will be strong enough to keep at least the bulk of the precip offshore. Here is how, again, how it's all going to play out. This trough line, this will bring some snow to Lab West, 5 to 10 centimeters, some flurries into Happy Valley Goose Bay through the later parts of tomorrow. And again, increasing clouds across the western parts of the island, certainly. With that northerly onshore flow, a bit of drizzle possible for Friday night into early Saturday for St. John's. And again, this trough will bring some shower and flurry chances to the west coast and southeastern Labrador through Saturday, though it's a generally cloudy day for central and eastern parts of Newfoundland after that early morning drizzle or freezing drizzle risk. Now, watch your timeline here as we roll into the Sunday time period. The latest thinking is that this high is, again, going to be even stronger than originally forecast, and it's going to be strong enough to keep the bulk of this precip offshore. No big dominant low that's going to be rolling in from the west and blanketing us with rain, drizzle, and fog. So here's how the next three play out in case you missed it. Temperatures, again, kind of riding that freezing mark across the island and into Labrador. Again, temperatures a little on the cool side, but not half bad and mainly dry. Now, as we work into the long-range forecast, that high, again, continues to dominate. In fact, it will push eastward, keeping us quiet through Tuesday, and then our next system will then roll in for the Wednesday time period into Labrador, and looks like later Wednesday for the west coast, central and eastern Newfoundland, eventually getting into the mix for Thursday with temperatures on the rise and a push of rain. So not a good forecast for you snow lovers in the west, but again, temperatures really starting to ramp up as we roll into that Wednesday, Thursday time period based on the latest projection. And again, quiet through that Monday, Tuesday time period with just some flurry chances. And the Labrador, again, normal is -10, so some warm pushes in here, warm relative, and temperatures, again, closer to seasonal Sunday into Monday.
Thanks very much, Ryan. Well, this time tomorrow, the St. John's Edge will be gearing up to play its first home game. Led by local Carl English, the team is off to a 3-2 start on the season, and fans have noticed. My One staff say it won't be long before tomorrow night's game is sold out. Here now's Jeremy Eaton stopped by the team's practice earlier today.
The team is excited. I know it's a lot of buzz around the team right now and out in the community, and the guys are, I've told them it's almost sold out, so they're very excited. We're just working hard, and hopefully we can get a couple of wins now over the weekend. It's very exciting. A little bit nervous, but that all comes with it. It's I've played in front of 20,000-30,000, and I'm probably more nervous to play in front of, I guess, your family and friends and peers, but it's exciting times. My kids are ecstatic. I know my wife is happy to be home, and my brothers as well. So it's going to be a fun night. I think it should be pretty amazing.
We're going to have a lot of fans here, and we want to have a good product on the floor. We'd love for them to have a great time and embrace the professional basketball into this town like they have hockey in the past. And you know, having Carl English on the team and all that he brings and the excitement surrounding that sign for us, tomorrow should be a lot of fun.
There's been a lot of work put in this by a lot of people over the last couple of months to get this up and running. And it's excited right now. That's the one word that keeps coming to mind about the excitement. You know, when we take to the floor tomorrow night, we see the fans in the building, we see the players on the floor, it kind of becomes a reality for us. The one thing we saw from the road trip, though, was just the positive buzz among the basketball fans and the community. You know, through social media, the people watching online, lots and lots of positive vibes right now in the city about this basketball team. And we're hoping that when people come down and see it, you know, firsthand, see it in person, those positive vibes will continue.
we got a young team there, but great group of guys, great coaching staff, and we're off to a pretty good start. That was a grueling road trip there, and we came out with 3 wins, so that's a good kickoff. Now we got 4 games at home, but I think it's against better teams, so hopefully we can answer the call, and I know we're excited and we're ready to go.
Definitely different seeing mile 1 with hardwood down there instead of the usual ice that we're used to.
Absolutely, and it seems like a lot of people are going to see what it looks like in person, including Jeremy Eaton. He's going to bring you the latest on all the excitement.
And our beautiful weather picture of the day, a little bit of a, I guess, giveaway is that there's so much snow on the ground, so it is in the big land, but can you guess where? The answer after the break.
Yeah, there's a lot of land in the big land there, Ryan. Beautiful. Well, it is the moment holiday revelers in New York wait for every year, the lighting ceremony for the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, that's a 23-meter-tall Norway spruce decorated with, count 'em, 50,000 multicolored lights and an iconic Swarovski star on top. A little Christmas magic in the heart of Manhattan.
Wow, it really is impressive.
A lot of Newfoundlanders go down this time of year.
Well, of course, we've come from away on the go, too.
A little bit of Christmas shopping, yeah,
I wonder if that guy last night that was driving with the big tree on his car, was that where he was headed? Was that the tree?
Well, I kind of mentioned that as an aside, but we knew it was the wrong state that it was in.
Yeah. Okay, so you're right. Before the break, it was a bad clue. Big land, a lot of big land, but this one is in the Upper Lake Melville region, and a great picture that was sent to us from Paul West. And, they just, of course, love the snow up there. Unfortunately, as you saw in the 7-day, possibility of some rain mid-next week would knock that down a little bit. But winter's pretty much on in Labrador, and thanks to Paul, who took that gorgeous shot.
One more weekend to get out and enjoy it, at least, until
Yeah.
And of course, they'll have lots more once the winter really sets in. They're not going to have a warm spell, not usually anyway. Once you get into December, what a gorgeous spot. Thanks for the picture. Thanks to you for being with us. See you tomorrow.
Have a good night.
Good night.